Hey, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Fan Culture. I am Naturally Elise, and that's my brother.
JR.
And we are the R&B representatives. And today we are welcoming back. Y'all already know. Just
Yeah.
this one of our favorite guests and just favorite people
Yeah.
in the world. We always
Co-conspirator, yes.
Yes.
right. Oh, our co-defendant. Mr. Mr. Edward Bowser. What's up, bro?
What's up to my fam? Always so happy to come through. I'm like the sitcom neighbor next door. I just come through with the foolishness.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, not gonna do it. Just come on
Yeah,
in.
just walk up in the
Right.
house.
And we don't even blink an eye. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's cutting it.
hmm
Yes. So for folks who haven't seen you here on the show, which I don't know how that is possible, but
That
whatever.
part.
Just tell folks a little bit or a lot about yourself.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Edward Bowser, and I, like y'all, love me some R&B. And for over 10 years now, going on 15 years, I am the creator and founder of soulandstereo.com, which is a home for album reviews, album rankings, all kind of love for the artists that we love. Talks about R&B, hip hop, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of pop. We got the same content going on our YouTube page, the Soul and Stereo Sessions, where we talk about all of this here. So if you love what we do here, you will love what we got going on at soulandstereo.com.
Boom. You heard the man. Yes. So, on today's episode, what artist did you pick to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful with?
Oh my, if y'all know me, if anybody is listening to this and knows me, there is one R&B artist that your boy is synonymous with. That is Keith Sweat. And I have had to put up with all y'all jokes and all y'all's clowning me on social media. But today we're going to talk about why I call him King Keith with two E's and an F because he is that dude since the 80s. Since the 80s, one of the forefathers of New Jack Swing,
Mhm.
evolving his sound over all these decades. He's still in the game. That's the name of an album, but he still is still in the game. So many albums, so many actual classic hits on the way. We're gonna break it down. If there's an artist I stand for Keith. I stand for Keith.
KANG Keith. Well, in his little spiel, the y'all he was talking about, it did not include me, just so you know.
Mm-mm. At least no.
But the rest of y'all.
Yeah, the rest of y'all.
I'll take it. I'll take it. And y'all know why, but I'll take it because I love Keith too. I do, but yeah.
Oh,
I give them a little bit.
we gonna get on all that today. We're gonna have fun
Yes, we
today.
are. Yes, yes.
Yes. So how we kick it off here is what are like three of your favorites, like it's yours.
Man, that's so tough. It's like picking your favorite child. And that man has so many songs.
And so many children.
Oh,
It's so.
Catch it.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My brother-in-law actually knows one of them, his daughter. But anyway, yes, he got a bunch of kids, as many kids as he got hits. But if I would say my favorites, because a lot of them are from the same era. Like I've always liked Keith's music. I didn't like I Want Her. I will say that. I did not like that song when it dropped back in the 80s.
What?
I didn't
Okay.
like it. I had some, and we'll get into it another time,
Yeah.
but like some of that
Yeah.
New Jack Swing stuff was too samey sounding to me. But I was not a fan of that, but I really became a big fan of his in the mid 90s and the late 90s when he had that self-titled album because that was
Mhm.
the album that really resonated with me. So a lot of the stuff from that project and a little bit before is what hits me the most. So I'd say my favorite of all is Nobody with Athena Cage because I was a huge Cut Close stan. Love me some Cut Close. I thought they were magic on that duet. So that one, I also love Get Up on It, which again is Keith and Cut Close. You can see the
But
similarities there.
Yeah, yes.
I see a through line. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then
Athena
my
ate
number
him up though. But go
oh
ahead.
look, Athena was no game. She played no games.
At all.
I got an unreleased album over here in my hidden stash. But the third one, I'm gonna go with Twisted. And I know once again it's Keith Cut Close, but I like the Sexual Healing remix because in Virginia,
Ooh,
they never played the original on the radio that long, but they would play that Sexual Healing remix all the time. I was like, oh,
yes.
this is my joint. Those are
Yes.
probably my three. Nobody Get Up on It and the Twisted remix.
Get up on it. I'm sorry.
The time is
Boy,
coming us.
was
Ooh,
Get
baby. Like she,
church,
real. Okay.
yes,
church
she ate, yo. And then nobody was everywhere. Like
everywhere.
everybody, like every station, everything, every country station, every whatever. It was like we have moved back up to New York, and let me tell you something. It was on Hot 97. It was on BLS. It was on KISS. It was on KTU. It was on Z100, which I was very shocked because Keith didn't get that kind of play with
Right,
them people.
right.
But they have no choice. I like what Whitney said. I love it when they have no choice. I love it when they have no choice. The song was too big. Like you couldn't, you had to play it. You know what I mean? So, oh, nobody is my family was so happy too because they was like, oh, because this is a new era now. This is '96. This is, these, Drew Hill's in and 112's in, and music is changing. So you don't know if Keith is gonna, and then my dad was like, my nigga, like that's it. Like, my nigga, like, yes, he gave us it did because the first single was Twisted, right? Was
Yes.
the first single Twisted? Yes. So you got that, and then you go with Nobody. It was like he deserved that American Music Award in '97. He deserved that.
Yes, and what people don't realize is, and we talked about this a little bit before, and this is why I
Yeah.
respect his game. He always evolved with the time, so he was
Yes,
able to
yeah.
switch things up. He wasn't still sounding like 1991 Keith at 97 because that ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
work. It's a whole
Yep.
112 and Jagged Edge and them doing their thing. Like he had to keep up, but still be that elder statesman, and he
Mm-hmm.
did that by like bringing in his girls, doing his duets. We had LSG later on, but he was able to kind of just twist what he had and just have this old new sound that was even to me it was peak Keith because I liked him before, but this is when I became like the stan, and then I went
Mm-hmm.
back and I mean I had like the debut album, which I think is 5 stars, a classic, but
Yeah.
like the second album and like Keep It Coming and stuff like that, I went back
Woo.
that and started to appreciate those a little bit more. And I was like, all right, that's when Keith was my dude. They started calling me Lil Keith in college. By the time we got to 98, 2000, he had to join with Lil Mo. They like, oh, here come Lil Keith. What you playing? We know what you playing. Like, yes, I'm playing that Keith. That's what I'm playing.
Oh my
Love
God.
it.
Keep it. Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that's
So
memories.
you kind of answered the next one of what song or album made you a fan, but were there any other particular moments where it it caught you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely the 1996 album, the self-titled joint, and that was the one where it just made me go back and like revisit some of the stuff because the first album again, I loved In the Rain, like nobody talks about that song. Like I those were the cuts that I liked off the first album, but that just gave me the opportunity to revisit and appreciate. So not only am I revisiting his albums, I'm like now I'm into Cut. I was already a fan of Cut Close, but I'm looking deeper at Cut Close and the work he did with them. Silk, that's another one that he worked really closely with in the early 90s. I went back and not only looked at that stuff, but listened to all those albums leading up to it. And Silk, we don't talk about them enough. Them boys
I do.
had joints on joints. And
Oh,
Keith was the architect for a lot of that stuff. That's why when
Mm-hmm.
he did that what was the joint he did with Bobby? The verses. and he was
Yeah.
singing all these songs, and people like, Keith did that? Like, yes, the man has a catalog, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I appreciate about understanding music. And I tell my youngins all the time, I know you like this song, or if you hear a song that's sampled, go back and see where it came from, because that's where your musical education will come from. And it
Right.
will expose you to other artists, and you'll have more appreciation for that artist, but you'll be exposed to other artists that will widen your base as well. So keep putting me on to like going back and doing my research and learning more about these artists.
I was about to say that again because that is the best thing. This generation needs to understand that. Go back because
Yeah.
everything you think is fresh is not. You know what I'm saying? Like they thinking like their artist was the one that did it and that's it. And it's like, no. You keep going back. That's why Jacquees, I hope you watch this episode.
I got a lot of stuff I hope Jacquees do, but first
Oh
of all,
hell.
watch this episode. That's number one.
Mm.
I remember when he played in Keith's face. I'm still mad about that.
Oh, then Keith gave him that New York vibe and said, "Let me talk to you, little man. Let me handle this for you right quick. What you ain't gonna do is try to disrespect me. You know what I'm saying?" He let Jacquees know had
It's
to
a
pull him by the collar, like, "Let me get you, little man. Like
Yes,
you wilding
get
at the
him.
end of the day, that's a Harlem nigga. Okay?
that
Yes,
part."
He is.
yes. Y'all sleep because it's like he sound like a mosquito. Ha ha ha. Like first of all, look. I done heard y'all faves. And some of y'all faves ain't doing it sounding raspy and raggedy, sounding like pollen all up in there, sounding like human pollen. That's what some of y'all faves sound like, human pollen. But beyond that, Keith was in these streets, y'all. I don't know if you know.
He
They
sound
don't
like a
know.
mosquito. I,
JR still there.
I
He done slipped out of space so I can
he
tell
don't
you.
know.
He
I
still there.
can't. I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm for real. They be playing with my man. I'm like, look, the reason I will never say as a key, I am a fan, but y'all know me. I keep it a buck all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Keith Sweat is the greatest vocalist. I'm not gonna say he need to be singing "America the Beautiful" at the Super Bowl. Like nobody don't want to hear that. But what he does is the man knows how to write. He knows how to
Mm-hmm.
produce, and he
Mm-hmm.
knows how to emote. Because when he's singing "I Want Her," that man sound like that his life is on the line. He wants her. Like there is
Yes.
no. He don't sound like he's just reading notes from his phone like y'all favorites up here singing like this. I'm reading on my phone. Like where the energy? Where the energy? Keeps bringing the
No.
energy.
Oh God, help me! I'm gonna need air after this episode.
Jr. You know they get me hot. You know they get me hot.
Oh, I get it. Oh,
Feel
I get it.
like
Oh God,
something
that man
there.
is legendary, and he deserves to be in that regard. You know what I mean? Like you said, the voice. Okay, you know what I mean? Because my fave ain't the best either. But
Well,
but
but we
but
love her.
again, the music, it's the music. You can't deny
Right.
that. And that man has built so many careers. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't deny what he brought to this game. You know what I mean? And everybody really thought that that debut was all about Teddy's production. No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
Keith did a lot of that on his own.
He did.
So y'all better respect that too, as him as a producer as well. So it's like, and then right, we talked about Drew Hill in the beginning. He worked on that album too.
He
So
sure did.
it's like that man is just he just has his hand in so much stuff. That's why I was like, you can talk about the voice all you want, which I do, and it's funny. But at the end of the day, it's just like, no, nah, that I put him up there. He's up there for real, for real. Because everybody swore to God in that verses that Bobby was gonna win. And I was like,
I,
no, y'all
I
better act like you know.
I
Because
said the same thing because
I
when
was
he
like,
pull out
y'all,
them hits out that bag, that's what was gonna get him.
that's
Hit
what I'm
on
saying.
it on it.
Yes.
When we went to the concert, the New Edition concert, and Keith was, he was there as well. Like and I was like, yo, you was on your feet the whole time.
Yep.
Like you was like, it was hit after hit after hit after hit. Then he do like what Babyface do, because him and Babyface, they show off. And he was like, I'm just gonna get a section of the songs that I wrote.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And produced. And it was like everybody looking around like, oh, he did that. Yes, he did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, I give Keith his utmost, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I can, as a fan, I won't throw rocks because I know. See, y'all got to learn how to be a stan. Y'all over here pretending your favorites are perfect and without flaw and above
Mm-hmm.
criticism. The world don't
Mm-hmm.
work like that. If you like Drake, I'm gonna pray for you. But if you like Drake, okay. Like, all right, but let's not pretend like every album he put out is a 5-star classic. That's
They
dumb.
do that a lot now.
Just be like, I like this artist, but recognize what's good and what's bad. And that don't mean you less of a fan. It just mean you
That
being
part.
real. Y'all too
That
fake.
part.
That's why I can't take y'all seriously on these apps.
Boop, 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 boop.
Well, speaking of that, what was a song or album that almost lost you as a fan
Woo,
that you
Yeah.
was like, no, but
woo.
Mm-hmm.
that
I
ain't
re-
it.
I remember it so well. 2002, the Rebirth album. So I'm gonna set the stage. So I already talked about in college. He had the albums out and they were good. Most Keith's albums are pretty solid. So like he had been on
Uh-huh.
this solid run. And in 2002, I had just moved to Louisville, like graduated college. I'm on my own. I'm like, oh, new Keith album? Okay, this is part of like I'm starting my new life, my new career. I'm like, Keith, what is this? It was the most boring, the most sleepy. He sounded asleep on every song. I'm like, what in the
Mm-hmm.
world is going down? And it was, and I think he knew it was weak because this was after this album, we didn't get nothing in for like 6 or 7 years, like no new material.
None.
So it had a couple joints on it that I still rock with, but man, I had to be like, I don't know, Keith. I don't know what happened. He just sounded so boring on all those tracks. I was very surprised. And he hasn't really had anything that bad since. But I don't know what was going down in 2002.
It was anything goes, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, that was the album that me too. I was like, and then I knew when my family didn't talk about it, I said, okay, then I knew. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
got it. Got it. You know what I mean? Because once Keith came out with a record, we played it and it was played around the house. This album wasn't too played around the house at that time. And I was like, because I listened to it myself and I was just like, hmm. I was like, Keith doesn't sound very inspiring on this
At
project.
all. My
I
boy
was like,
was new
hmm.
sleepwalking. I don't know
Yeah,
what was going
yes.
down.
So when I was like, I'm like, Mom, Dad, y'all not talking about Keith album? My dad was like, Nah, I'm good. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Ma, what about you? She said, I'm okay. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Like,
Well,
God damn.
yeah, like it was like, you know what I'm saying? Because they will brag when Keith came out. You know what I mean? Every album, you know what I mean? So it was like when it got to there, because it was like still in the game, he was hot. That
Yep.
was a hot album too. Then Didn't See Me Coming was hot. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, Keith is not being played. Then when you got to this, it was like, Keith, I'm bored. Like you sound bored. Maybe this was the last album on, that he had to give the label or something. I
That's
don't know.
probably that might have been it. I gotta think back to the times, but I bet you that was it. This
Mm.
might have
That
been
might have
it.
been it. Like, okay, I'm done with my contract. I done gave y'all niggas all of this music. You done took my publisher. You done took everything from me. So now I'm done. So y'all get this last album so I can go about my business. Because like you said, after that, we ain't getting on to what? Like 2009?
Yep, it was a long time before we got something. And once he got back, he had picked up the pace again. We were good. But
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
that, I mean, we had a greatest hits in between there. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that this was a
No, he
contractual
had a
obligation
Christmas
album.
album, in it?
Oh, I forgot about the Christmas joint. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That had a couple of joints on it. I do be playing it at Christmas time, but it didn't change the world. But yeah, I forgot about the Christmas album.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that didn't even get promoted. It just kind of showed up. I was just like, oh, okay. I found out about it 6 months late. You know, if I found out about it late, he ain't put no promo in it.
All right. Oh God. Yeah, yeah. I thought I was like, I know Ed gonna be. I hope he say the rebirth. I hope he
Hmm.
say the rebirth.
The worst by far. Ain't even
Yeah,
close.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
And you know what's
Mm.
crazy about that
What?
album?
What?
is a top 20 album.
Probably everybody got it the first week and it was done.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't surprised. I mean, the single, I did like the
And
single,
like
and the single
top
was
20,
on,
like it crossed over. I mean,
yeah, the single was on BT for a little while, Midnight Love, I'm sure. So I mean, I can see it getting a
it
little
went.
bit, but it
Catch
ain't had
it.
no lasting power because
No, I'm
Keith,
just shocked that it did that much.
Probably the name. His
Oh
name
no.
got it.
Keith got a
Oh
name
two
now.
though. We was getting a lot
Oh,
of
oh, two. Oh,
we was
ooh.
getting a lot of shipped.
Shifts. Yes, it was a lot of shifts, and, and I mean, voice is what. Nope. Mm-mm, mm-mm, nope. I'm not gonna do it. Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh,
I'm not go.
I
I'm
ain't gonna
not
name.
going that lane.
I'm
I'm
trying
not
not to
going.
name names. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to
Right.
name
Right. We
names.
had tweet though.
Shipped.
Go
You said we
ahead.
had tweet. Is that what you said?
Yes, we had a great voice in tweet, didn't we? Oh God, yes. She
Yeah.
was an amazing voice in 2002. The ones that was at the top, I don't.
I don't know about them others in
The
2002.
mother, the mother.
That's at the top of my alphabetical order thing.
Right. Both
Yeah,
of
I'll let y'all put two and two together.
them. Two and two together. A plus A equals A.
Oh my
Anyway, y'all stupid. I love it. Here for it.
Yes.
So what's your Keith Sweat song that makes you happy, or it's like attached to a happy memory, or
Yeah.
just happiness?
So I'm a weirdo in that like my wife is like you listen to she's like when you listen to music you listen to it like a robot because everything I listen to is like a critic. I'm analyzing, I'm dissecting, I'm picking apart the production, I'm pricking apart. I'm like, does it mixed well? And she's like, do you just listen to a song because you in a good mood? Like, do you just listen to music like a normal person? And I kind of don't be doing that. But songs that make me happy are songs that are like nostalgic. Like that's what brings it out of me. So I don't like be like, oh, I'm a good mood. I'm gonna put on, Brandy's Sunny Day. Or like I don't do stuff like that. I just be like, I'm gonna put on a song from like childhood that hits me. And for
Mhm.
Keith, the one that be hitting me is that Don't Stop Your Love. The way that song is pure energy. Energy.
Isn't it?
Oh
Oh.
my gosh, that beat drop, girl, like it's just over. Like I'll just like flip the table.
Oh, daily. Yes, yo.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh, like that
Yeah.
is the energy that I miss in my music. But yeah, that one is the one that just gets me so it just gives me energy and it gets me excited. And really much all of the stuff from the early catalog and the first three or four albums, like really have some great memories attached. So, but Don't Stop Your Love, that's the one.
I got one that I got to tell y'all. Y'all gonna look at me like I'm nuts.
Well, we already
Why
know.
would a song that I that I look when I think about Keith and I be like, yeah, I want to be in a happy mood or whatever. Why do I play Why Me Baby with him and LL?
What? How did that put you in a happy mood?
I don't know. The up tempo joint, the part two joint.
Oh
I
yeah, the
like
part two.
yeah, part two. No, 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 not the part one where it's slow. No, 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 no. But the part two, because then I think about the video. It's so corny, but so just and I just why me?
Yes. Oh, that is
That's
my
a happy
song.
song for me. Like on mine, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me throw that on for real, for real. I remember throwing that on in the car with my mom, and she said, "This is the one you want to hear." Like, this is the one you want to hear. Like, I love this song. She was like, "Okay," like she
Okay, yeah.
right. She was like, "Okay, Junior, okay." I'll wait till this is done, and then you can play something after this. Like,
I ain't mad at you. That's my song too. I
yes, like
forget
I
about
just
that.
like, yes.
That is funny. So what about the same question but for sad or
You know,
melancholy?
if I'm picking something sad, I'm gonna pick something from their Rebirth album. But um, I would say, and I like this song. There's a song up there called "Trust Me," and it's about. And Keith got a couple songs like this. He got a song called "Rumors." That's basically the same thing. It's a song about like his girl listening to other people saying he cheating, and you need to listen to me and stop listening to your friends. Keith, you know you be in these streets. She probably ain't lying. But anyway, he's saying in the song, like, listen to me, trust me, it's all good. But he sings it so sad. Like he sounds so depressed. And he talking about his mama. He's like, oh, my mama told me this was gonna happen. And again, I love a song that can tell a story, and the story is told in the performance. And he
Mm-hmm.
sounds so dejected. And that's what makes me and again it's the more the performance that makes me sad for him than a
Mm-hmm.
song that's sad. But
Hmm.
like I love a it's like a good singer is like an actor, a performer, and he really has me feeling sad listening to that Trust Me song. There's like two songs on that album I listen to, Trust Me and whatever the name of the singer was, where the girls were hanging upside down with the little cloth things in the video doing a little acrobat thing. Y'all know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I know. I'm trying to. Yeah, I
Pink
know.
always doing it. What's the
What
name of
was
that
that?
song?
Damn. Um,
I got an album right here. Let me stop tripping and look.
I'm thinking, yeah. What was the song called?
One
I
on
don't even.
one, one on one.
One
That's
on one.
right.
Yes, that was it. That was it. That was it. Hmm.
I remember the
Poor Keith.
visual, but I don't remember the song.
I got my whole
You
Keith
don't need
collection right
to.
here. All,
You better.
all. Look, we physical in this house. We physical with our
Yes, I
media.
know that's right. I know that's right.
For me in my house.
Yeah.
So, this was kind of a funny question now that I think about it, with it being Keith. But is there a song you would like to hear Keith Sweat cover? Or that you would be curious to see him with himself?
They I can't look at you.
I'm not looking at y'all either. That's why I'm not like hyperventilating right now. I'm
You know what song to me always seemed like a Keith Sweat song, and I would love to see his spin on it. Joe's All the Things, because that's
I
a
ain't mad at
song
that.
that
You know what?
Keith
I
loved being a hater. He loved being a romantic hater. So like he can
Yeah.
absolutely
yeah,
do
oh,
that.
hate a cock blocking,
Yeah.
just rude.
So I can see him doing that. I would always hear this song and be like, man, it sounds like a Keith song. I was like, did he write this? I mean, he didn't, but it definitely sounds like something that would fit well into his style. So I'm gonna go with that one.
I ain't mad at that at all.
I
Because it does get you
really like
keep
that answer.
me too. Like I really didn't know what he was gonna cover. But I just but that song, it sounds like a Keith Hader ass song. Like
It
it
does.
does. Like it really does. And he would have ate that. And the
Yep,
girls would have loved it just like they loved it with Joe. So yeah,
It
it
kind of
makes
has a
sense.
Keith cadence to it.
it
Yeah,
does.
I
it
don't
does
think
that.
that he would sing it much differently.
He put some slang at
I mean, a better
one,
vocal, but
two, what you gonna do? He throw something on it.
Nothing. Yeah, I could hear it. Yeah, I
Keith,
wonder.
get on that. Tell Keith to get on that. He cool
Oh
with Joe.
man.
Get on that.
Yeah,
right, right.
yeah, y'all. Yeah, do you do it, but let Joe still come and do the background.
And y'all talk about me, right? Y'all talk about me.
I didn't say she was wrong though. I just
Hey,
said,
I'm one of the biggest Sweat fans you meet in these streets, me and Ed. So
yeah, but we gonna keep it real. Please keep Joe on the background.
it, it'd be like your siblings. You'd be like, I mean, I can talk shit about them until
Right.
you can't,
You can't.
because it's gonna be
Problems.
just saying. Like, don't play with me. What's a deep cut that you would love for, the casual fans to discover?
Man, it's so many because if y'all know, like I'm an album guy, so I'm always about the album cuts. I'm
Mhm.
always about more than just the singles. Every album got at least one hidden banger on it that people don't talk about, like whatever you want from the '96 album or Teach Me off of the the Just Me album or It's in Your Eyes All Still in the Game. I'm gonna go so deep that I'm sure that 95% of the people watching this and people watching this are R&B experts. But I bet y'all ain't heard this off his unreleased album. It used to be on YouTube. I don't know if it still is, but he has an unreleased album that never dropped. A lot of the songs got repurposed for the Just Me album. But he had this joint called Abracadabra with a female vocalist. I don't know who she was, but she was great. That song is my song. And I feel like if that dropped, that would have been a hit in the mid 2000s. So if
Oh
it's on
wow.
YouTube, go check it out. It's called Abracadabra and it's
Okay.
Keith being, Keith with his weird magic metaphors. But I love that song. It's definitely very in the Keith Sweat vein, and to me, it was a hit that like was just sitting out there, and it could have been like one of those joints that could have got him some new fans in the mid 2000s.
Word. Was his magic metaphors like pulling rabbit out of hat? Was it like real? Was it real basic?
It wasn't that basic, but
Okay.
it was still
Okay.
kind
Okay.
Was he talking about his wand and shit? Okay.
of. He won't talk about his magic stick. No, he won't doing all
Okay.
that.
No, I'm just trying to gauge where it was. What
It
side
was
of
more
vanilla it was
like
on?
he's more kind of talking about like he messed up and he wished that he could like I dream of genie fixing it up. It's kind of like that kind of thing. More
Oh,
so.
that girl! I just had to listen. That girl blowing on the record. I just like skimmed through it real quick. Like, yeah, Keith should have did more of those.
Yeah,
Like
Keith
more duets for real.
he always had him a good dude. He knew how to pick him a female vocalist to back
Yes,
him
he
up.
did. Yes, he
And I'm
did.
not sure who this young lady is, but I wish we could get more from you, man.
Yes, yes. Lisa, not the magic wand.
I'm just trying to judge what kind.
Look,
Shang,
I don't blame her. You know how these dudes do.
you know the anatomy of a R&B song, so
Yes.
it's
No,
even
he
the
kept it
greatest song. There's
PG.
a formula. Okay.
At that part.
All right. What's a random fun fact that you found out about Keith Sweat, or just something about him that just trips you out?
Oh my God. I got so many stories about this man. I interviewed him. I will say, let me preface this by saying I was very excited. Shout out to my boys, I got soul. They actually hooked it all up. I
Mm.
get to interview my fave. I'm so excited. And I do this for real. Like I'm a for real journalist. I ain't no plays like some of these podcasters that y'all be hyping up. I'm
That's
like,
not hilarious. Go ahead.
you feel me?
Yeah, I play too much. That's all that is.
Listen, anyway,
Listen, this ad
Just play,
breaks this
play,
out.
play.
So I
Everything's a
think
game, JR. Everything's a game.
oh God.
they be giving too much credibility to these folks and don't know what they doing. It drives me.
At all.
How you
Mm.
interviewing an artist ain't done no research on the album that's out, nothing about their career. You just asking them about whatever drama came up on Twitter. But anyway, I'm get focused back on the topic.
Yeah.
But yes, I like do this journalism thing for real. So I got the chance to interview Keith Sweat. I'm very excited. Publicist put him on the phone. Hello. I was like, oh Lord. This first of all, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sure Keith had a long night. Yeah, in fact, Keith wanted to make the interview later. And I couldn't because I was like working at my day job. And I was like, this is the time I got. This is the time I allotted for this. So they were like, okay, we'll make it work. Keith obviously either hung over the Ciroc hitting him or what I don't know. But he was not with him. I'm asking
We know
questions.
that for a fact.
A yak.
That yak was slapping him that morning. So I tried to interview him. My man was on Pluto. He did not know what was going on. But the more I kept talking about it, and I remember, and JR, you mentioned the Still in the Game album. No, it wasn't.
Yes.
It was Didn't See Me Coming. It was Didn't See Me Coming because
Okay. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
album that had like the hip hop influence. I
Hmm.
mentioned that I was talking about something, and I mentioned the hip hop influence of that album, and he kind of perked up, like, oh, like you know about that, and that woke him up. And like, so the second half of the interview was great. That first half, I don't even listen to no more. But it just proved to me. I was like, okay, Keith. Keith is an artist that respects fans who understand his career, his journey.
Mm,
And then when we finished up, he was like, "Oh man, that was a great interview," because it was like, "All right, he understands my journey, so that was cool." So I always give Keith props because even though he was in a some rock haze the first half of that interview, once we started talking about like deep into his catalog, and I can't even remember what he was promoting at the time. Like you could tell he's a fan of R&B. So once we
right.
got deep into that, you could really see that pop out of him. So I always respect him for that.
Mm,
Secondly, I think we need a people gonna laugh, but we need a Keith documentary, biopic,
Yeah.
miniseries or something. This
agreed.
man was in the streets. Y'all know about the story about he was fighting Alpo?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Keith
those
about
who
that life. That's why I
yes,
keep it very short. That nigga show up right to my damn house.
yes, he will. For those who don't know, the story goes Keith was being Keith, messing with Alpo Martinez girl. Alpo was like a high profile drug dealer in Harlem back in the day.
Hmm.
Alpo put them paws on Keith, so the story goes. So Keith made some calls. What was my man name? Peter. What's his name? The Asian dude. I'm blanking on. I can see his face and I can't think of him. But Keith hit up another drug dude. Had that situation taken care of. We talking about Alpo, one of the biggest names in that game at the time. Keith had that handle. So if he's moving like that, he got some clout behind his name. I want to know more about that story because that's just one story. I've heard a few others.
Oh yeah, keep gangster. That's all
Yes,
I have
I
to say.
want that to be part of his story. I think that would be a super dope biopic.
He
Somebody need to get on
deserves
that.
one. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And going back to something you said, like I've noticed that with people that me and JR have interviewed to where when we start talking deep into their catalog, like it clicks because we've had
Yes.
that happen a few times with people to where well it's mostly Jr. I mean to where Jr. knew knew the deep and not know it by reading it off a list like he knew the music
Right.
and
Yeah.
like when
JR
we
know the
with
guitar
RJ's
players and some
latest
of everything.
arrival like when
Oh
we
yeah.
like they were like
Yeah.
JR was going deep and he knew the music. He won't read it off a list. He knew it.
Right, right. They enjoy that. Like, shoot, when
Yeah.
Brian, you remember when Brian came on the
Brown
show?
Adams. Yeah.
Brian was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, y'all know my story better than me. Like when Elise first introduced him. And he was just looking like, damn, nobody go back that far. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why Brian crazy ass kept coming back and back and back and back.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just think for those out there, the interviewers, like, look, man, if y'all
Yeah,
got the opportunity to have like these legends in your space, do them the grace by telling their story correctly. Like, and if you don't know it, everything on Wikipedia, this ain't like when we were younger and we didn't have all this information right in front of us. It don't take but 15 minutes, y'all. Just bone
that's
up
it.
and make sure that you telling some. Don't just talk about some rumors you heard on Twitter. I'd be mad for these artists. They go there to promote their album, and you talking about who they mad out 20 years ago. They don't
That
care.
part.
Mhm.
Annoying.
Very annoying. Oh my God. All right. Well, we know that Keith was part of a super group, if not one of my favorite super groups of all of the times.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Aha, I like what you did there.
I peeped it. I peeped
I
it.
mean, they like what you did there.
You
Which is
know,
that song
he was
there
part of
is a
the
mess, but I love it.
yeah, was part of the untouchable super group, Levert Sweat Gill. You know, three of my favorite people in the world.
Yep.
But if you could make a super group with two other artists, another one for Keith, what would you? What would it look like? Like
That
in
is
your
a
imaginary world. So it don't it could be someone not even alive. This is just our imagining fantasy thing.
see. I'm gonna switch it up because I know most people when you think of super groups, you're gonna put them like them and then like two other like dude. I think Keith works best, and the reason why LSG works best is because you have two dudes like good Gil and Levert, who are great vocalists. You put Keith just gonna throw in a little flavor. He gonna do his stuff on the hook or whatever. But you have a great writer and great producer and great mind with two super good vocalists like flanking them. That's why LSG was so dope. And I think that is like the formula for getting like a good Keith supergroup. And the first thing that came to mind, because Elise mentioned all the times, I was like, I need Keith and Coco and somebody else because Keith worked so well with these ladies and putting him next to her. And I know
Woo,
that's JR's girl
woo.
and somebody. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do a little bit better. I'm gonna do it better. We're
Okay.
gonna take Athena from Cut Close. We're gonna take Lil G from Silk, two that he didn't work with, and put him in there in part three and make that something. Oh my gosh.
I ain't mad at that at all. I
They
ain't
go,
mad at that at
I'm giving them
all.
my credit card. Just go on and do what y'all want with that because I am gonna be there for that.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Yes, his writing and production, you know, both of them be blowing. Lil G, he is unhuman. He just an alien.
Oh,
I don't know
Lord,
what he be
yes.
doing.
Yes.
And they got the chemistry and they got the history. Man, Keith, you sitting on $1 million idea. Going to make that happen.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Like that. I like that a lot.
Cause shoot, I would, yeah, and like you said, I wouldn't mind him being with Coco, but with somebody else,
Yes,
another female. I'm because he works great with vocalists for
he
real.
does. Especially with, I mean, we talked about it this whole show. Like you pair him with a great female vocalist,
You know
and
who
it's
I would
magic.
actually put him together with? I don't know if y'all think how y'all feel about this, but I wouldn't mind if it was him, Coco, and Latasha from Escape.
Oh, I'm with that. I'm absolutely with
Cause
that.
she went for blood and on Am I Dreaming with him.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
what? Whoo! It was like I told her that on Twitter, before or But
Yes, I know. I know.
yes, I told her that and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." I was like, girl, you went for blood on that record. Like
Oh my
for blood.
gosh,
Her
that
and Keith was
song.
going back and forth, and I was like, Keith, just stop.
She was on, and I love Latasha. She was always my favorite member of the group. But on that song specifically, oh, she was on another planet. She was killing it.
Mm-hmm. She know that solo career was coming.
She knew it. I thought it was. I thought it was. And
We thought
then
she thought too, and I guess
the
well. Mm.
Lord, go and pay your mama that money back or whatever's going on over there.
Sorry,
Amazing.
sis, we couldn't escape it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got all caught up.
Couldn't escape it. You crazy, y'all. Oh goodness. So what? Okay. So the bonus mission question,
Okay.
Okay.
and I'm only asking this because it's it, and I think you appreciate this question. What do you think is the blackest Keith Sweat? Like it's just the most blick, just the blackest song we got.
The blackest Keith Sweat
Cause they all
song.
black, but
Ooh.
what is the like just that just screams this that just screams Negro? What's the blackest?
I'm gonna tell you because this is how look, us brothers sometimes we don't be doing right. There
Okay.
you go, telling me no again. First of all, if you remember the new Jack City movie,
Uh-huh.
why was he singing that song at the
At
wedding?
a wedding.
Like
At
what?
a
Why
wedding.
are you singing?
He was like
The
that.
wedding about to get shot up in 5 seconds, and you
and you
singing this song to the aunties, and they losing their mind. Why are you singing this at a wedding, brother? But that is when people talk about begging, like black crooners begging. That is the
baby.
beggingest of all songs I have ever heard. There you go, telling me no again. But she probably telling you no for a reason. But he's still begging, and he's still at the front door, and he's still. But I miss that. I miss when our artists were vulnerable enough to be like, you know what? I am gonna worship my lady's ground that she walk on. I'm gonna tell her, I look, that you keep telling me no, but I'm still gonna be here. So
Yeah.
what's up?
Yep.
Now it's just like, oh, she told me no, I'm gonna write a diss song about her and be like half rapping on it and throw some auto tune. Man, go sit down. That's why y'all ain't got no love and y'all. Let me stop. Get on. That is the blackest. That is the blackest because
That is a black ass shit right
that
there.
is somebody's uncle taking it too far, embarrassing everybody at the cookout in front of your aunt. Like, dude, go take it in the house. Take it in the house.
He did say at the wedding. No, I'm just thinking about that shit.
I'm
Like,
thinking,
Yes.
nigga, really? Really? This? Like, oh,
and all the women
Lord.
going crazy.
Yeah, the women were going crazy.
Losing it. And about 5 seconds later, nigga dead.
Did I think we didn't see Keith after that? Did he get shot
No,
too?
we did not.
We did not. Nope.
Oh, shit.
Y'all done broke
The
my heart.
real
Keith
Nino
done died
dead,
in
yo.
New Jack City. Y'all done. I ain't even thought of that. They done took Keith
Ah!
out in New Jack City.
Can't have nothing.
Oh, oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh no. No, it's over. I didn't want it to be over yet.
This was hilarious. I knew it was. I knew it was. I knew it was gonna be hilarious. I knew it was. I was like, mm-hmm. And he was gonna be the one that was gonna break all the stuff. I didn't have to be shady. He
Listen,
brought it. I
I
just was
will.
behind him. I was following the leader. That's what
Shade is in my soul, even when I'm talking
He-
about my face. But
Yeah.
I can say it. It's like
No.
Elise
And he could
said. We can
say it
talk about
anyway.
our own people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, he came in, he controlled the narrative. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
That's exactly. He
Yep.
controlled the narrative off the break. He said, "Let's just get this out the way." He sound like a mosquito. I will never
yeah.
let that
Cause,
go
cause,
ever.
'Cause then your ammunition go. Then you sit there like, well, he already said it.
Right. He was like,
He
where you gonna come now?
he had to
Like
disarm
he
your
eight
opponent.
miled it. He
Mhm.
eight
Yeah.
miled it.
Yes. Yes.
He disarmed you.
I 8 miled it.
He
Yes.
eight miled it. He
Oh
like he
shit.
gave everything before, and it's like, what else am I gonna say? Like,
Real talk. Real talk. You gonna get real talk on this episode.
yeah. Oh, listen. Oh Lord, they get it every episode we on.
Yep.
Oh Lord. All right, my bad. I'm sorry. He said a mosquito.
I told you he was gonna be all right.
At least get your boy.
I'm sorry. Ooh,
I'm gonna
Lord.
leave him.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
leave him in Maryland, right where he at,
Yes.
God.
and I'm
I'm
at
gonna, when I go out
home.
today, I'm just, oh, that
I'm
was
at
cute.
my house.
That was cute. When I go home, when I go out, watch. Nikita gonna be like, "Why are you laughing?" And then when I tell her, she gonna be like, "Who?" I'm be like, "Girl, girl, girl." Mm.
She know who Keith Sweat is. Don't play her face. She do know Keith Sweat.
Barely,
I-
Barely. I'm depressed. Barely.
barely. She know Twisted. She know anybody. No, I mean nobody. She know that.
You so black, Jar.
Black as shit. Didn't I just do that?
J.R. the blackest man in America.
Oh my god, I will put up a song title like what? And keep it moving. This is Live Wire over here, y'all. So don't hate on me. So I'm good. Lisa told me she hasn't done it often yet because I kind of catch myself. But y'all look at them first couple of shows, at least be like, no, the song is because at least don't play with names and titles.
Good. Yes.
Baby, I done killed so many names and song titles on Catch That. Now I be like, nope. Or I beat her to it. You see, I was like, anybody? Oh, no, nobody.
Well, you jumped on it, but no, you know how our community does. Song get up on it. Y'all didn't call it
If
if you really want it.
the time has come around. I love that song now. Oh, I love
Me
that
too.
song.
Me too. Me
That yes,
too.
that is my song. The video ain't make no sense. Why y'all
At
got
all.
cut close in ice? I don't know, but the video ain't make no sense. But the song was fire.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Very, very
Ah,
much fire. I like
yeah.
fire. But
Yes.
yes, thank you for hanging out with us, brother.
As usual.
Always a pleasure. Always a
This is
pleasure.
Yes.
awesome.
So, you have any parting words or want to tell folks about anything you got going on? Floor is yours. Go.
Always, you can come check your boy out at soulandstereo.com. I always got the latest album reviews. I always got some looking back at some artists and seeing what their discographies are like, ranking them from bottom to top. And if you
Yeah.
like the visual aspect, you can go to youtube.com/soulandstereo, where it's the same old thing except me acting silly in front of the camera. So go find your boy there.
Especially with the last one you did.
It
The
could
Vive
go.
mics versus the
The
five
Oh,
stars.
I forget the five mics. They still in my look. They still in my DMs.
They are. I
They
knew. I knew you was gonna get a few. Cause I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. The Biggie one, you was right. Just
yeah,
saying.
and
Yeah.
look,
And that's my
that's
favorite
my
hip hop album of all time.
that's my guy. But that
Ready to
one more
die.
chance, regular
Yeah.
one. I don't like some of them joints. And the
Mm.
Scarface fans are mad. Like they the ones that's real mad.
Oh,
Cause I was like 4.5. That's a 5. You don't know nothing. I was like, okay, homie. All right. All
You
right.
big,
I can have an opinion, homie.
you
But
big
yes, check that
time.
video out.
Big time. Yes. All right. Well, we also thank the cousins for hanging out with us and
agreed.
cutting up. You know how we do. Just
Yeah.
share, like, subscribe, all those things. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. Just tell somebody. And we will catch y'all on the next Catch That Fan Culture. Peace.
We out.
Peace.
Holla.
Keep it coming.